Greetings, my name is Brother Khonsu. I was part of a hip-hop group in the 80s called the London Rhyme Syndicate. We were from Kensal Green. We were part of the first generation of MCs in the UK. The early 80s were the origins of UK hip-hop. We were influenced by this new sound that came about from the South Bronx in New York. We emanated that, coming from the UK. We put our own identity on it, but we just started emceeing about the things around us and our environments, and then eventually we were fortunate enough to put our work on vinyl. I was called Little Prince J, that was my MC name. We would go around to all of the nightclubs battling MCs. In those days, the battling was not violent, it was all lyrical and intellectual. So, you know, to get your status as an MC, you would go around to where there would be rap competitions, and you would put your mark down with your rhyme vernacular, your rhyme skills. Tim Westwood would always put out weekly MC competitions, and you'd phone up and you'd express your rhymes over the phone. And I beat another MC at the time who also blew up around London, called Silver Bullet. So in beating Silver Bullet on the Westwood show, the prize was to go to the BBC recording studios. It was a great transition. You know, we were battle MCs. We would just go from nightclub to nightclub, park jam to park jam, creating our status, and you know, eventually we got whipped up by Rhyme and Reason. Our first track that we created was called Hard to the Core, which just blew up around the airwaves, especially around the pirate radio stations around London. And our DJ D, he invested in a Roland 808 drum machine, and at the time, if you had an 808, that was like a big deal. What hip-hop was doing in the 80s, we were getting these messages conveyed from New York. Chuck D was talking about Fight the Power. KRS-One was talking about Malcolm X. X-Clan was talking about Marcus Garvey. You know, Rosa Parks, Ya Santua. You know, who were these people? Kajo, Nanny Maroon. We saw the Jungle Brothers. We were in red, black and green, these colors, and African medallions, and dressing in kente cloth. And you know, and these were like road MCs, you know, rugged MCs, and they were just wearing these kind of uniforms that suggested that they had a connection with Africa. Somehow we got in contact with Gatecrash from South London, you know, a crew that was slightly older than us, and they expressed to us that they wanted us to feature on this track, part of this organization called the Black Rhyme Organization to Help Equal Rights, or Brother. And the intention was to raise money for Nelson Mandela, who had been in jail for 25 years in South Africa at the time. And there was this whole kind of public awareness about freeing Mandela. They managed to pull together all the current MCs of that time. It would be the equivalent of having, you know, Kalashnikov and Bashi and Akala and Miss Dynamite and Dizzy Rascal and who else is out there right now. Just having them all on one track together, a collaboration to raise funds, a charity track. So we were on the track. We were first to feature. You also had Hijack from Brixton, Cookie Crew from Battersea, MC Mellow from Battersea, Treble and Bass from Kensal Rise, Gatecrash, London Posse from Brixton, Demon Boys from Tottenham. These were all very high profile recording artists at the time, and it was quite a lineup. I call this event the Great Gathering, you know, because remember, these were the first MCs coming from London, and we all collaborated on this track together. One by one, all these MCs just came through this door. At the head of the table was the first black British MP, Bernie Grant. You know, grey-haired Bernie Grant, you know, this elder that we all just looked up to, and he summoned us to this event through Gatecrash, and we had this meeting, like a board meeting, of all of these high-profile MCs, And we all sat around this table, and he educated us on what was going on in South Africa, apartheid and Nelson Mandela in jail. And we just felt very strongly about it because we were the voice of London's youth. We came to a consensus: yes, we're gonna invest in some time, and we're all gonna come down to the studio, and we're gonna write some bars for this charity track. And we left this great gathering. The closest thing I could describe it as is kind of like urban Live Aid. Bob Geldof Live Aid. He got all these artists together. They sung for Africa. Well, we had our own version. It may well not have gone down in the history books as Live Aid did, but we had our say. And as I said, it was the voice of London's urban youth at that time, and it was quite a powerful statement. We had a social awareness that you don't necessarily see nowadays with MCs. So it was a very potent time in the history of UK hip hop.